We are live. Yes. And
Take
we
it
back,
to the
y'all.
West Coast.
Y'all ain't ready? What y'all know about Snoop? With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O double G. But somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky like every single day. So
May I kick a little something for the G's and
as I breeze through 2 in the morning, whoo, cause my mama ain't home. I got some
in the living room getting it on, and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what you wanna do? I got a pocket full of rubbers and my homeboys do too.
So turn off the lights and close the door. But for what?
We don't love them.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's what I'm talking about, y'all.
Rolling down the street, soaking in those, sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking in those, sipping on gin and juice. Oh.
Now that I got me some Seagram gin, everybody got their cup, but they ain't shit. All right. All right. She said I was getting a little carried away, but I felt that
song
thing.
go hard,
I felt
dog.
that right. All right. All right. Yeah, we are back with the latest episode of My Turn, My Truth. Whereas when it's your turn, you do what?
Tell your truth.
All right. Right now, you're looking at the Rice Man. Who else we got?
I'm Mackenzie. I'm back.
He's back, y'all.
He's back. Guess who's
back.
And Amada.
It's your girl Ken. Follow me on what? TikTok and Instagram at m.kennedii. Y'all know. Subscribe to our YouTube at My Turn My Truth Podcast and like us on Instagram and Facebook at My Turn My Truth.
Yep, and before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to my youngins, our youngins. They are both, I'm super proud of both of them. I haven't gotten a chance to put it on Facebook yet, but they both have big jobs. They're doing big things. They both are working with the city, and I am so super proud of them. More than they can ever know. They're making their mama and their daddy very proud, and they're doing their thing, y'all. They adulting.
That part. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Yeah, they do. I mean, they is trying to.
I pay for my own health.
Yeah, my son said we finna get ready to take a trip. Not in a few. I'm just gonna say that in a few.
Right.
And my son, I said, yeah, this ain't gonna be a paid trip by mom and dad because you know we trying to get some things together so we'll be able to pay more for more trips. Like we normally do. And my son almost made me tear up. He said, Mama, y'all done did y'all job. The next paid trip is gonna be on me.
And me.
And so I was like,
boy.
I'm tripping.
Hey, well, shoot, I'm trying to go to Hawaii.
Let's go.
Don't call out.
Hey, we could have went there next, but nobody really said anything.
We can
about
go there next.
I'm just saying all that to say that I'm very proud of them and where their mindset is and where they're moving. We're both super proud of them.
All right.
Okay. I want to also give a shout out to my other daughter who is not on camera today,
Oh,
Marielle.
Marielle, we love you.
We love you.
I am super proud of her because she sat in while her man was in boot camp. What I call it, boot camp training. What is it called?
That part,
but whatever it is.
Yeah.
But y'all saw her.
Y'all
seeing her sitting in, filling in for her man, and I'm very, very super proud of her as well. And she is an awesome addition to our family. We love you.
Absolutely. Let's say hey to a few people. Hey, Mr. Mike Hopkins.
What's
hey,
up,
Miss
Mike?
Chelsea.
Hey,
What's up,
sis.
Chels?
I ain't heard from you in a long time, Chelsea. I'm gonna have to call you.
We love you too, Mary.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Hop, he's faithful. He's always on. And my friend Cassie remembered to join.
Cass. Yeah.
We miss you. We gotta get you back.
Yeah, we gotta get Cass back over here.
But anyway, we know did the little niceties. So let's get on into it. It.
All right.
Yes.
So it's great that we have an even number of males and females on the cast today. I've been outnumbered for the last
5 weeks.
Right. So now I got some more testosterone in the building right now.
Good.
Yeah, so we get to talk about some things today. Hop, you might need to get the lady on. Make sure she can hear. She might have her 2 cents ready today.
Call
too.
in.
All right. So we're gonna be talking this. I got some questions, some relationship type questions today, and we just we're gonna go through them. All right. So first off the bat, I want to know, do y'all still believe that traditional gender roles apply today? Now we know what biblically it said, but times have changed, things have changed. A lot of things have changed. So, I mean, do traditional gender roles still apply today in a relationship / marriage?
No.
Okay. So
I don't believe so either.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
So, since you jumped on in, to know why do you think it no longer applies today?
Because in my eyes, what I've seen, and that I have a wife, I just think women think they can do everything a man can, which is true. They can do everything we can, but we are supposed to do those things.
Right.
We have to do those things.
Okay.
If we go back biblical, that is our curse. To work the field or the garden. Their curse was to have babies and it hurt. We have to work. They choose to work and they feel like that's just we can do everything y'all can do. Yeah. But when the bills when the bills aren't paid, they don't look at them.
Go ahead and throw the first
shot. What I'm saying? When the car get repoed, they don't look at them. When the house get evicted, don't look at them.
They say buddy ain't doing his job.
Yeah, they say bro not doing his job. When they go outside looking sad. When they go outside looking sad, they look at dad. What's wrong? They look at me. What's wrong? Man? What'd you do? Why'd you make him mad? This is different now. So,
Morgan,
that's how I feel.
I feel like they don't exist because we're not we don't make them exist anymore. Like we don't you don't gotta do certain things to get somebody no more. You don't gotta have a good job. Don't even gotta be a good job. A job. It's just it's like the standards are down there on the floor under my shoe.
Not under the shoe.
There's no standards. It's I think she cute. I think he cute. Now we together.
Okay.
We don't get to know nobody and actually see if we actually want to be in a relationship before we hop in one. And then we get mad and want to throw shots. But if y'all would have sat there and went through the process, then y'all probably would have figured before y'all got in too deep that y'all weren't supposed to be together.
Well, we'll get back to what the process is or what it should be. The missus?
Well, I don't feel like it. I feel like it should apply, of course,
right?
Because of my moral and spiritual beliefs. But I don't think that it's apply. I don't think that it does apply. Excuse me. And the reason I say that is because I feel like men and women are too much in competition with each other. I feel like, in a sense, I don't know if it's like outwardly competition or secret competition or just unconscious competition. I feel like somewhat what Mackenzie said, a lot of women do now feel like they can do more or what a man does or more than what a man does or just as much as what a man does. And they feel like because they are able to do some of those things or even maybe better at some of those things. And when I say at some of those things, of course, I'm not talking about physical strength. I'm talking about, maybe get a higher paying job or whatever the case may be. I feel like at that point, they put themselves on the same pedestal, if you will, as a guy versus still being in that woman's role. And then I just feel like a lot of times it's just hard when women are independent. I feel like men don't necessarily embrace women's independence. And what I mean by that is looking at the relationship as a partnership versus a role specific type of thing. I think it's like, thank you. I think it's just, they drill down. It's just so much of drilling down. Like you need to stay in this lane and I need to stay in this lane. But a lot of times in partnerships and relationships, you cross over lanes and that's what make the relationship great. but not saying that, okay, just because I have to cross over lane at this particular time in our relationship, that the roles have now changed.
Right.
Well,
Mhm.
I'll address a question while I'm answering mine.
Okay.
And when I say the traditional gender roles,
Right.
meaning men provide and protect,
You're right.
and women submit, nurture, help,
Right.
be the helpmate. So that's kind of the traditional
That's
gender roles
traditional,
we're talking
of
about.
course.
I feel like, and when the question was, do you believe?
But then we didn't have that when you asked, when we start answering, but okay.
But I
That's
guess
what I meant. That's what I. That's
I
that's
assume
what I.
you know
That's
what
what I
traditional
meant.
roles
Well, we
are.
can't
So,
assume
I mean, I assume you, but I mean,
Go ahead.
you should ask for clarity. We could have asked for
Go,
clarity.
go
All
continue.
right. So, let's see. I feel like, do they still exist? I feel like the traditional roles exist in prosperous relationships,
Right.
relationships that are working the way they should,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like they don't exist in failing relationships
Right.
and situations because no one. I feel like, now this is my personal opinion.
Your truth.
No one knows more than my God, my Father knows about, relationships. And if we're looking at, do gender roles still apply, that means we're looking at them as a social construct, not as our very nature and how we're built. Because if we're looking at it solely like as a social construct and time changes, generation changes, the roles, I feel like that won't work. Because a man's nature, his masculinity, his nature are going to want certain things. And that's going to come out whether the social construct or the time or the date or the year changes. What he needs and what he wants will always remain
How
the
he's
same because that's his
designed.
nature.
That's how he
And
designed.
and likewise with a woman. So once we try to make it a social construct and like timing changes it, it doesn't change the very nature of us.
Right.
Right.
So I feel like it still should apply.
Right.
And in very good relationships, it matters and it does make them better. And relationships that are off, I feel like they're off because the roles aren't
Established.
identified.
Yeah.
But you said, I thought the question was, do they exist?
I said,
In today's relationships, do they exist?
They exist, but they're not the common, the norm.
Yeah, I mean,
They
there's always
exist.
gonna be them one-offs. Right now, it's not the majority of what exists.
Yeah, I agree that it's becoming less and less traditional roles. And I think that's a problem. That's the problem.
All right, but my
in
wife,
my opinion.
we got some comments. My
Yes.
wife actually said, but if we are both working full-time jobs, the household responsibility should be shared. What I'm gonna say is that's what I'm talking about right there. You talk about
Get off
I'm
me.
just saying,
Get
we're gonna
off.
have a real conversation. No, we're gonna tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling Mariel for months to do what? If you can hear me back out there, to quit your job. Quit it. Not once will you tell me to quit my job, you take care of everything. And if you are, that's not your role. That's what I'm talking about. I understand. And she also said, not just a woman taking care of the house and things. Of course, that's my house. I pay for the house. You know what I'm saying? But I provide. That's me. That's what I'm gonna die providing. That's what I'm gonna do. So,
Yeah.
like I said, you can quit your job, and I'm gonna have to work. So you working right now is a plus. Like, thank you so much. That helps a lot. But in our reality, like, if push come to shove, you gotta stay home and watch our kids. That's what you got to do.
Right.
If you got to quit, that's what you're gonna have to do. And what I'm gonna have to do is work more. So that's what I'm saying.
And I think that somewhere down the line, we start to think that women shouldn't work. And I think that when you single out the woman that the Bible singled out, the Proverbs 31 woman, it says she sold fine linen, created fine linen and sold them at the gate. Like, she worked.
Correct.
Right.
The Proverbs 31 woman worked. So it wasn't like this is a new thing.
Right.
When God created Eve, he made her to be a helper. So that might mean help till the garden.
We ain't gonna add or take away from the word of God.
I'm just saying, I didn't add or take away
You
from the
said
word of God.
that might mean.
And I'm talking about
from
now,
your perspective,
a commentary of
Yeah.
what I think it might mean. So
Right.
I know what I'm doing. But in saying that, That means help in tilling the ground,
Right.
working if necessary for a time or a space, whatever that help needs to be. If he needs help financially, it should be help financially. That means
So are
there
you
might be a
saying?
job.
But so are you saying that the man can't help the woman?
I think men do help nurture kids, raise kids, take care of the house as well because we help in that.
It's just
So
different.
so that's
But I don't
that's,
think- I
that's
don't
to her
think-
point.
I don't
though.
think these
That's what
jobs
she's
are
saying.
solely one to the other, but
Right,
that there can be some bleed over. But there
And
is a
that's what I'm
primary. But
saying.
there is a primary,
right,
and
of
I'm
course.
talking about the primary roles, not these subsequent
and we're
roles
talking
of
about
help.
all of it. So
Right.
that goes into
I'm
what
talking about-
I was saying
Well-
about sometimes the roles bleed into one another, but that does not mean that one is more significant than the other, or one role. Now that I have to step in this role, or whatever the case may be, then now I'm the dominant factor.
No.
That's I was saying something similar to
Yeah,
that.
I don't think we ever brought up significance yet.
I
That what
see.
you were saying, or anything like
did.
But
that.
I see
didn't
what
use the word
Mario.
significance, but
I see
did.
what Mario is saying because a lot of times now, online when we're looking at stuff like these women are working and then the men are working and then they're complaining, oh, she be asking me to help wash the dishes and do all this stuff. She working a full-time job just like you. You don't think she's tired coming home watching the kids, coming home cleaning the dishes, and you come home and you sit on the couch and you want
Just because
But
you
your
just
just the
bath water
provider.
But that's
run,
what
you
I
want
want.
a meal, you
But look,
want the kids taken care of.
that's-
So I understand what she's saying. When we are both working full-time jobs, I need
That-
some help
but
with
I'm
that
just saying
as
that
well.
even when we're working full time, that doesn't change our primary role.
It
That's
does.
what I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
I'm just
Correct.
responding
Yes.
to what she's saying.
And what I'm
And-
saying to the working woman, you don't have to
But at
work.
times
I
they
understand.
do. Your
I
wife
understand.
doesn't
about
have
that.
to
No,
work.
no.
Your
Listen,
wife doesn't
No,
have
I'm
to
just
work.
saying in general, you provide and protect, right?
Absolutely.
If you have the right man, the right woman, the right relationship, the right center, you should not have to do those things.
Did you say the right center?
Yes, God is the center. Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
but
center.
at
Center.
certain times,
Okay.
I understand that times are hard. Yes, she
Yeah.
has to work right now.
okay,
Yeah.
so that's
But
what
I'm
she's
just
talking about
saying-
right now
But
while
I'm
she
just saying,
working.
Y'all,
the traditional
y'all chime
woman
in
is
with
putting
what y'all
in the,
think. 'Cause
oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing just as much as you, and I'm doing that. That shouldn't even be a thing. That should
Well,
never be a thing.
But it is a thing, and that's what we can
That's what
speak
we're
from
addressing.
what we're going from right
Right.
now. If I'm working full time, from what, because Marielle said, yes, Morgan, that's what I'm talking about. And I know she's talking about what's coming on social media and how these younger guys are thinking, because it's not necessarily the older guys that are saying stuff like this. It's just like, oh, well, back in the day, young guys our age, back in the day, the women, they cooked. When we came home, the whole house was clean. And back in the day that you're talking about, the women didn't go to work full time.
But women have always worked.
But
Right.
they didn't go to
But,
work full time like the
you
men
know,
are doing.
okay, so we know women
But
have always worked.
Again, I just wanted to say in clarification, just because you help in an area doesn't mean that's your sole role or responsibility.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Even if you go to your job, there's 5 or 10% other duties that's required. You have
Absolutely.
a main role, and you have, hey,
Right.
now we might need you to do some other stuff. Now we're gonna need you to do
Right.
it. You're gonna need to. We'll need you to do that. So, and I guess where the question was leading, I'm glad it branched out because it branched out to some good stuff. I think we're just talking about primary. Well,
Primary
the initial question was just traditional roles.
Correct.
Right. When I think
Um,
of traditional roles, I think of the roles God gave us after the man and woman sinned, Adam and Eve sinned. Our curse, we are going to die working. Every man is going to die working. That's what we're going to do. Whether that's military, whether that's retiring at 80, whether that's just working till you die, we're going to do that. That's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. We have to work. We have to provide. That's the thing. Women, single mothers, they're all out there. They have their kid. They have their child. They have to nourish. That's their role.
Right.
They have to nourish. They have to do those things.
Absolutely.
And I understand that times are hard, and some stuff, like my mom said, does bleed over. But at the end of the day, who do they trust with the kid? Who does the mom trust with the kid? Who does the government trust with the kid? We can do
Moms.
just as good as a job as you.
Absolutely.
Just as good as
And
a
vice
job.
versa.
Absolutely.
But-
But now, as we're looking at it, it's getting more so where some men don't want to work.
And some
wanna
men
be
don't. And
taken
some
care
women
of.
don't want to be
But
mothers.
I don't think
Absolutely,
it's
and that's
getting like that. I
absolutely
think
true.
it's always been
That's
like
absolutely
that as
true.
well.
But
I
I'm
don't
saying
wanna
we
work.
see it more now in our generation
What
than
she's
y'all
speaking
probably
Because
Right.
you're in your
seen it.
generation,
Right.
so you
Yes.
see more.
So, but
Right.
like the
That's
work ethic was just better in y'all's generation than it is in ours. I feel like, and that's with everybody across the board. I'm not talking about just men and women. I'm just talking about just everybody across the board. But like, absolutely, men. I think men can take care of sometimes better of their kids than certain
And
mothers. It
I
just
know
all
some women that
depends
work
on the
harder
specific
than some men.
situation. Like you said, the women shouldn't have to work and the men gonna work till they die. That is the men who are God fearing, and everybody in their mind have a different aspect or a different opinion of what traditional roles are. And I think that's what it is. We don't have no general consensus of what the traditional
Well, we do.
roles are.
We do have a general consensus, but everybody's just not using it. Nor does everybody believe in it. So they're making up their own
Absolutely.
own perspective and what they believe is going to work for their
And
relationship.
that's why Mackenzie said, if you have the right center.
Correct.
And whenever we talk about the men's role, we always jump straight into the provide, not protect. And that's a lost aspect of things that
That's
big. That's big. Like, when it goes down and you hear something go bump in the night, something happens, somebody run up to your car, the guys have to be ready to die for you and give his life for you and protect you in whatever ways in preparation for bad things to happen, or when bad things happen, he is going to die for you whenever and if ever necessary, and put himself in harm's way where you in times get to run away from the bad stuff, we have to run toward it.
Yeah, when y'all hear a scary noise at night, y'all don't get up with y'all pistol. Y'all wake us up. Y'all tap us. Oh, go check that.
And
Go
we're
kill
talking
this
about in
person.
relationships. Because if you're single, I guess a woman would have to jump
but
over her
that's
pistol.
a whole nother.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother
question.
topic.
We got a comment. Miss Chelsea says, I believe a woman can work yet still understand that her role at the house is to be a helpmate to the vision that has been given to her husband. Amen.
That's good.
And Chelsea, I have a question that we're going to dive deeper into that, I promise.
But my thing is this.
That was really good.
So if you are going on roles, because I feel like a lot of times, I'm just gonna say this, and I may be jumped on about this, but a lot of times I feel like men are just lazy when it comes to certain things. Like when they get off work, they have a hard day at work, they want to just sit down and relax. So does a woman. So my thing is, at this point, yes, our job do continue to go because we want to. I mean, we have to prepare dinner. We have to make sure that the house is neat, because that's a reflection on us.
Mhm.
And my husband always say that, even if I'm tired and he know that we're having company, we don't keep our house nasty by no means. But what I'm saying is, when we have company, everybody tied up, and my husband, he will do that because he know that that's a reflection upon me. So, and that's also a part of a protection role, because he's protecting my
Your
image.
Right.
So,
Right.
But what I will say is, like Marlon said earlier, and I also said earlier, the roles does bleed together, but there's always going to be a primary, and then there's going to be a backup, or a primary and secondary, however you want to look at it.
Absolutely.
And we just have to understand what our core roles are, because I cannot operate personally. My whole vibe is messed up if my house is not in order. It really do something to me. And then when my husband come in, and even though I pick at him a lot, but when he smell food on the stove when he coming in, and he be like, "Ooh, it smell like."
And 80%
It smell
of the
like
time,
heaven
that's
in
what
here.
we want anyway.
It
Just
smell
some
like
food.
heaven in here, and it does warm my heart. I feel good about that. I do. I don't cook all the time, but he's also the type of man that if I don't feel like cooking, or if I just expressing how tired I am, he gonna be like, "Okay, baby, do you want me to pick up something, or I'm taking you out? We going out to eat tonight."
Or he gonna cook.
He ain't
That
cooked in a
ain't
minute.
good.
He ain't cooked in a
I
minute.
just feel like
But he can cook, and he has cooked, and he will cook. But nowadays he be like, "We going out," which I'm fine with that too, because sometimes you need a change in scenery. It's a partnership, and I feel like a lot of times people get hung up on roles, and we do need to know what they are.
Right.
But I think a lot of times, as far as the the people who don't have the center, who not grounded, who don't come from the traditional, the spiritual side of it, they fight, and that's why I said they in competition with each other. They just like fight over what a woman should do and what a man should do, and they have really nothing to guide that.
But there's one thing you did say that I kind of don't agree on. You said men.
I was going to that point, right? I'm gonna let you handle it first.
You said men are quote unquote lazy. It ain't working their stuff. Okay, that's the truth. I ain't mad at it because I'm not. But
okay.
I would take that word lazy and move. I would put tired in that.
No.
Okay, put tired,
because the weight of the world does not fall on your shoulders. We go to work knowing that we have the weight of the world.
I'm gonna need you to push some buttons for when I talk to.
I'm just saying. But from a man's perspective,
I'm just
you don't go to work thinking, if I want to quit. I hate this job. It's stupid. That I can just quit and
you got to continue on.
You have to continue pushing because you have mouths to feed. You have a house, to take care of, to be a part of. My wife right now can tell me that her job is hell. Quit.
I will tell my wife the same thing.
Quit right now.
Yeah.
Quit.
Right.
I tell her all the time, quit. If you don't like it, you have a bad day, quit. You can do that. We cannot do that.
But I love that for you
I'm
guys.
just saying, I'm just saying from the word tired. The word tired.
Right.
We cannot. We're not putting to success.
And I want to get in on that lazy word.
We're not putting to success. We bring the woman to success.
Oh, y'all done made a man.
No, I'm just saying we bring y'all to success.
Yeah.
This is the
Y'all
good
would
part.
never do
This
us
is the
like that.
nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Y'all would never do it. If I met Marielle right now and she was working at Arby's, it would be the same relationship we have right now.
We don't care what y'all make.
But if I was working at Arby's and Marielle was working at Tisas Aflac, besides all the stuff we have now, she wouldn't even look my way.
Women don't do that no
we
more.
have to
They're
bring y'all to our success to make it our success. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want
to say all women, but go ahead.
I want to say this about the laziness part. Yes, you cook more than I do and clean the house more than I do, and that's probably going to be synonymous with that's probably going to be. But who does the outside stuff? How does the grass get cut and everything get done?
You do it sometimes.
When your car need a tire, get the ticket and stuff.
He do.
I handle the way men look at it, right? And I'm just gonna tell you, this is how we look at it. We will handle things that have to get handled.
Right.
If your car needs to get fixed, there's a leak in this, and there's something wrong, the pipes don't work. We will take care of the things that we feel are necessary.
Uh-huh.
But when we look at the housework, whether the house is clean or not, y'all want to see things pretty, whether it's necessary or not. Y'all will do things that are not necessarily.
Washing dishes is necessary.
Hold on. Let me finish. Are not necessarily have tos or must dos. We will do it. We will do things that have to happen.
Okay, but I'm gonna go to the have tos. I'm finna go to the have tos.
And I know you gotta go outside the house too.
Right, but you just did. So I'm gonna go to the have tos inside
so
the house.
laziness, I don't buy that, and I don't subscribe to that. That's
Okay,
all I'm saying.
so I'm finna address that. Since you addressed that, I'm gonna address that. So we have tos in the house. We have dishes that need to be washed.
But that's in your nature.
We have clothes. What's in it?
When I started out, our very nature to do things that have to be done, that are critical to the success of the house.
That is half. That
What you gonna
We
eat
don't
on
see
the
it
floor?
like that. We don't
the
see
table.
it like that.
But I'm just saying.
But
I get
the
that.
Bible says the woman is the keeper of the house. That
Yeah,
means she will do it
the
innately.
manager.
She will do it naturally. Is what I'm going at.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
Sure.
is
I get
the
that.
natural portion. It is not natural for us to want to see the house all pretty and dainty and
I don't
stuff,
care.
and change the sugar, put it in a prettier jar than what it came in,
Buy the
and make
nice
sure the
candle.
cabinets look good, and have candles over here smelling. To us, that's not a natural thing, and I'm trying to.
But
keep
it brings you peace when you come into your house of serenity.
So when I'm trying to stick to the level of roles, there's some things that you're going to do naturally or innately that we don't see as natural.
Well,
we'll have to come out of our nature to do some things, and y'all have to come out of your nature to do some things.
Must I say?
So that's where I was going. But go ahead.
Must I say about the yard work and all that stuff? That's not even like the stuff that women do is every day. Washing dishes, doing that. That's every day. The car don't break down every day.
But when it does, it's a harder job to
And
get
we
it
come-
fixed
and
and
we
more
come
money
more-
and more intuitive
and we
to get
come
it
more
fixed than
pocket.
doing the dishes.
Our problems cost.
Okay, your problems cost, but half of the time now in this generation, it's coming out of both people's pocket. Let's just be real.
You're gonna preach
not
your
coming
side
out of
harder.
your
We'll preach our
pocket.
side harder because our nature tells us to.
Right, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
that's
That
why-
the gender roles, they still should apply and they are necessary.
And that's why I say it's not one more important than another. And we have
Right.
to learn as women and as men that these roles go together to make the family, to make the relationship. And we have to understand what those roles are. And then when there's help, when help is needed in one role or the other, as a partner,
We
you
need
need
each
to
other's
step
help.
in and help.
I think
That's what's gonna make the relationship
I
work.
saw,
Right.
yes,
We got each
and
other's help.
like you said, I saw a quote that said, a relationship ain't always 50-50. Sometimes it's 40-60. Sometimes it's 70-30.
It all depends
Sometimes
on where you are in the
20-80. It just depends on where you are in the relationship.
And I look at it even slightly different. It should be 100 and 100.
Me too.
Absolutely.
You're
Give your
100%,
best.
you're
That's
100%
real.
of what
Me
you can
too.
That's
offer.
real.
And my 100%
Right,
if I
'cause
can
my-
offer.
my-
I'm never going to give you 50% of what I could do.
Absolutely.
Then I'm
Right.
slacking.
Come on,
Right.
100
You know
might
what I'm saying?
not be your 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
But I
Times your
understand-
10% might be different than my 10%.
But I understand what she was saying. Like when I'm tired, sometimes somebody might have to do more than the other person have to do. Because if somebody tired and somebody's sick, then somebody gonna pick up that slack. Like if mama's sick, one of us or half of the time, dad, you gonna come downstairs, you gonna cook, you gonna do stuff that mama would normally do because she not feeling well. So that's what I think the girl was getting at when she said sometimes it's 60-40. Like it just depends.
And I feel that.
Because she's looking at as together y'all making each other whole.
Right.
Yeah.
So together is
Yeah.
100.
And the word cook, like me and Mackenzie might see it, the word cook the family something to eat is different for us.
Y'all might just go
But
get
if
something.
we go get it, we still provided the
fed
family with
family.
something
No,
to
that's
eat.
real.
We just
Absolutely.
might not cook.
And that's why I said
Absolutely.
you
Long
will
as-
say
we just
go
gonna get it
out.
done. Whatever it takes to get it
Absolutely.
done. Yeah, but I love it. My wife's food is better than any restaurant. I eat her food,
Aw.
and it's better. It's better for me. She knows my medical needs. She knows what I need to do. The food at home is always better.
You out the
Uh-huh.
you out the house
Hey,
now.
my
I
bells,
just think, like we said,
Yeah, my bells
I think-
is
lamb
it's a
chops,
treat.
something
I
crazy.
think, like we said now, I think a lot of it has to do with, we always go back to this upbringing and what you see in your household, how you view roles.
All right.
Because I had both of y'all.
All right, so I'm going to go to another question.
Okay, let's go.
Mhm.
What's the biggest problem that we feel are facing couples today?
Lack of communication, lack of God being the center of the relationship. Those two for sure. For
in
me.
my generation,
This
Gotta
period today.
elaborate.
so I'll say children.
Oh, that's it.
Discipline. I'll say that. How you
Okay.
Say
y'all
the question
both,
again.
Y'all both coming in with
What do you feel the biggest problem that's facing couples today? Or what's stopping them from being successful or causing them to fail? I don't know.
Because well,
But
Shanika, hey Shanika
What
girl.
Mackenzie say?
So Shanika said communication, so she agreed with you, Morgan. Hey Ashley, thank you for watching.
What you were saying, Kenzie?
no, go ahead. No. That's
So
a different
I
question.
feel like because people are not really going into it as a relationship anymore. People are going in it to screw or have just a good time. And then you end up having a kid or you
That's
end
real.
up having, something that connect y'all to try to make it a relationship. And it was never intended that way.
That's it. That's what I was gonna say. It's the sinner.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the sinner is God. I'm not saying the sinner is this or that. It's just the sinner. There's two different things. Y'all on two different wavelengths. If y'all can't connect, then y'all just I don't know you.
That's real.
I'm living in a house. I have a kid with a person I do not know.
That's real. Coming into relationships and people expecting two different things out of one relationship. That's real. If you don't
I
expect
agree.
what they
That
expect,
goes back to
y'all not gonna-
communication.
Absolutely. Because you expecting one thing, you're thinking roles is this way. You're expecting another thing. You're thinking the relationship should be this way. And like you said, it goes back to lack of communication. But if y'all don't want the same thing out of a relationship, then it's not gonna work. Like when people say, I want a man who wants to be a husband, but a man wants a woman who wants to be a wife. So you gotta want to
'Cause
be
you
a
gotta wanna
girlfriend,
be that
and
thing,
you gotta want
right.
to be a husband. It's not what I can take from the relationship rather than what I can give to the relationship. And everybody looking at it as, what can I get from you? That's always what it is. What do you bring to the table?
Right.
Instead of what I bring to the table.
Well,
So, and
okay.
Ashley says finances, nobody talks about that before entering into a relationship. And I definitely agree with that as well.
Right.
Shaniqua agrees with that as well.
And Chelsea said communication, finances, not collecting data while dating.
Yes.
Which is
Oh
good.
yeah.
That's a good
I
one.
think my answer is going to be a little bit different or deeper
Go ahead.
than that, because we know the communication, finance, and things go. I think the biggest problem is not knowing who you are, your role. And I think that when Chelsea said something earlier about buying into a vision, his vision or whatever, like I feel like the biggest problem facing us today is a lack of leadership from the man and a lack of submission from the woman. And let me explain.
I like this. I think I know this one.
I mean, he created Eve to help Adam, and so he wouldn't be alone. But to help Adam was one of the things. The question is, help Adam with what? So if a guy doesn't have a vision for his life, he is not ready to be a husband. Because he has to know, he has to have some ambition of where we going. I'm trying to build this so the Eve can say, okay, I can help you do this.
Right.
I can latch on to your vision. But when you get with a guy who has no vision, he's just working a 9 to 5. You ask him, what is your 5-year plan? He doesn't know. What do you want to be? When you want to be? I want to have some money. That's not a vision. Everybody want to have some money, but the vision is, how do you get there? Steps to get there. So when a man has no vision, a woman will create her own. And she will also do it. You will always be trying to figure out whose vision, what vision, because there is no vision. A man with no vision is just not ready to be married, because his woman needs something to latch on to help build. Yeah. Now, on the other hand, when he has one in a marriage, she needs to help him submit his vision and try to figure out how to help him get there, which is making us get there. So a man with no vision, you get with a woman and y'all just love each other, y'all screwing a lot and everything's good, right? So, but now it comes down to, okay, what if who gets this job? Who are you moving with me? Are we going here? Or who has this job? What if I get a job? Are you going to quit your job and move to Cali with me or whatever like that? Now we don't know. And that goes back to what Chelsea was saying, collecting data while married. It's more than love that's going to make a relationship work or last.
That's true.
Man has to have the vision. Woman needs to be able to help him get there, have a complementing vision to make this thing successful and happen.
And the only way you gonna have a vision if you know your purpose, because a lot of times you ain't gonna have a vision if you don't have purpose.
So, and that goes back to knowing your purpose, which leads to your vision. If you don't have it, you're not ready to take on a woman on a serious level.
Yeah,
because you don't have anything for her to latch on to except you. And now you're trying to figure this thing out along the way, and she's trying to align her vision with yours, and you don't have one. Therein lies a challenge. I just think that a woman going to submit to what? Like if you had you apply for a job, right? Not just a job, a career job,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you apply for this job, and you go apply for the job, and the job is demand of the vision. So you buy into the job and you say, what are we going to do? What are we going to do in this job? Where do we see the job going? And he doesn't know. The job doesn't know. What are you going to do? You're going to latch on to what? Work toward what?
Blind leading the blind.
The blind leading the blind. You don't have anything to support
Mike just
you.
said a blind vision will put you on a blind path.
Bro, if you don't have a vision, the biggest advice I can give you, and whenever I see my relationship stalling with my wife, it typically means I've gotten lax, or I have a lack of vision. And she's idling, waiting on me because my wife wants to do something at all the time. She's trying to get to the next level. What's the next level? What's the next level? What's the next level? And sometimes I get complacent. So when my vision becomes stagnant, then we become stagnant. It's the issue with my relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we always have our challenges. But when we're focused on the vision, like this is where we're trying to go. And she said, ooh, because we can do this and this and this and this to get there. We're at our best.
Right.
You know, but and I know I have to check myself and say, man, where are we going?
Right. Miss Chelsea said, yes, I'm not following a car that has no idea where it's going.
Right. And that's why
that navigation ain't on.
And that's why when we get mad at women for not submitting to what? It's not just submitting to you, it's submitting to your vision.
I'm just gonna have to say this for one of my friends that when we did the podcast and she said something that my daughter is her motto.
What?
I'm not gonna say her name, but she said ain't no man gonna submit me straight to hell.
Right. You want me to submit, but you gonna submit me straight to hell.
I just had to say that. I just had to say that. I thought that was kind of cute.
I think another problem within my generation is everybody has made it so popular and everybody want attention that everybody want multiple people liking them. Like, I'm in a relationship, but this girl looking at me too, so I might, and I'm gonna put on a show for them, but I'm in a relationship.
And vice versa.
And if I'm just talking to her on the phone at 3 a.m., it's not cheating. I ain't do nothing with her. Where's the loyalty? Like, If you want to do that, you do that, but don't bring nobody else into that. Be with people who are cool with that. Everybody want attention. OnlyFans and all this type of stuff. Everybody want attention. You're not saving this stuff that you're putting on OnlyFans for your partner.
Right.
Wow.
So it's like if everybody can see it and everybody can get it, what? Like, come on.
Right. And to the man of these days, vision, it's more than just a thought. It's more than just a dream. It's more than that.
It's action.
Get up and do it.
It's action.
There you go.
It's
more than a conversation.
Not have a dream. I actually got that tattoo on my arm. James 2:17. Faith without works is dead.
Yeah,
it's dead. It's not gonna happen.
Say that part.
You want to garden, but you don't want to go out there and water it. Right. You don't want to go get dirty. You don't want to garden.
Oh, you know what? Another thing is that people, whenever they hit a little bump in the road or a little argument, nobody want to go through the rough patches. They think it's all peaches and cream all the time. Like, they think you never supposed to argue, you're never gonna have a disagreement. Everybody think it's my way or the highway.
Right.
Well, that's not gonna help at all.
But you just have to realize in a relationship, you're still two different people. You still have two different thought processes, and everything is not gonna always be the way this person think it should be or the way that person should think it should be. And that goes back to the communication. That goes back to knowing certain things about your partner up front. So you know how to collecting the data. Chelsea. So you have to know how to navigate through those things. Because if you have a partner who's not going to listen, you have a partner that's dismissive. You have a partner who's not going to value your thoughts or your input, then you already know up front that that's not the person you need to be with. Right. That's the type of feedback that you need. Right. So, and I know that even in relationships, me and my husband, we've been together since we were children. We literally grew up together. So, and of course our relationship has had its ups and downs, but by the grace of God, we are still here. And the fact of the matter is you are evolving every day in the relationship.
Right.
And you have to want to say, I do all over again.
Absolutely.
It ain't just the day that you got married back in 1995. It's every single day. I say yes to my husband every single day because, he is not the same 17-year-old, 18-year-old young man or young teenager that I met. He's a grown doggone man. Then I've been through life, and I'm a grown woman that been through life, and we handle things differently now.
And I say to that, when you go through life, I just feel like you can't be too love blind in the relationship. You have to know who you are in the relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not just, Morgan's brother. I'm not my dad's son. I'm not Marielle's husband. I'm Mackenzie Rice. Son of Margaret Rice. Right. Like, that's who I am.
And that's how the Bible will explain you.
Right.
That's right.
Matthew 6, if y'all want to go look it up.
Genealogy. This is Mackenzie, son of this person and this person.
And it's hard to, vent or try to go to a person when they don't even know. You don't even know who you're talking to.
And you're right in that, like, I expect my wife to submit, but I also know that if I did not value her opinion, she would not be my wife.
Yeah.
She is the chief influencer of me. Outside of God, she is the chief influencer of me. I value her opinion above all except Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is... So when it's because she is my rib, she came from me, she is my helpmate. So I always want to know what you think, babe. What you think? What you think we should do? What you think? And every time she'll say something enlightening to me, she knows me, she knows our situation. And that's something that I will ponder always. And typically, I am going to lean toward her wisdom, because when God speaks of wisdom in the Bible, he speaks of wisdom as a her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I listen to my wife's wisdom in all things, and because I want to know what you think. I don't want you to just follow me blindly. I want you to tell me what you think we should do. I have what I think we should do. You give me what you think we should do, and most of the times it ends up as a hybrid.
It align.
A hybrid.
Y'all should really go read the book of
I
Proverbs.
think there's one more thing that we should
I want to address this.
Go ahead.
If you finna change the subject.
Go ahead. No, I was talking about this, but go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say it kind of coincides with that actually. Sometimes
But read it.
I don't know. Well, this says
Wait.
as I said, just read it.
Ashley says, but when do you realize there's too many bumps in the road?
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, you know, we are still young. Well, I'm still young. I didn't have the luxury that these lovely people in this room have had. Yeah, but you're married. You had like
I
one
trial and
Yeah,
error.
I know. I'm just saying. But me having two exes and all that, it's just like sometimes you gotta know that this ain't the relationship for me. Sometimes you gotta know when to let it go.
Yeah,
Right.
That's real.
If you didn't put God in front of it to seek this relationship and to edify and build it, it probably won't be the right one.
Absolutely.
But I think that when we're talking about bumps in the road,
she said, and when you realize
right,
there's too many bumps in the road.
But it's just how you see a bump. If you're spiritual and you see a bump as Satan trying to stop you from your vision, you won't worry about how many bumps in the road. You just know that's Satan's attempt to try to stop you from getting to your vision.
Correct.
And you won't see it as a bump. You'll see it as an opportunity to get by and get higher.
Absolutely.
But if you just see it as a bump or a hurdle in the road, and you don't understand that our vices are against you from being together, being what God has ordained, a family, if you don't see it like that and see there's going to be attacks towards you that try to stop that, if you just see it as a bump, it'll always be too many bumps.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I'm going to
And
say this. Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this because God is with us all. I'm not saying that he's not, but God ordained marriages. So we are talking about married couples.
Not necessarily a regular relationship.
Because if you are in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship and you are noticing that there are too many bumps in the road, then it's time for y'all to sit down and reevaluate that relationship and figure out what are y'all doing and where is this headed and where are y'all going, and try to get it and get God, if not in the center of it, so that what Marlon is saying, you can start realizing that now these are strategies and devices coming against us as a unit versus us as two separate individuals. Absolutely. So your vision is a little bit different with the relationship. But I will say that if you are realizing that there are too many bumps in the road, that's time to just sit down and recenter everything and trying to figure out what is really going on, and do y'all need to continue on that journey together.
That's real.
I'm laughing at Mike Brown right now. He said I'm old. He said if you stay on God's path, you can never go wrong. Shake the devil and stay focused. He said Marlon is old, but a hell of a man. But yeah, I am old.
That is real though.
That's real.
The dynamic of relationship from girlfriend and boyfriend to marriage. I am a newlywed, but my whole perspective on love has changed, like 180 degrees turnaround. Because I mean, Mario had some problems. You know, I had some problems, but I'll just pray for you. Yeah. Like I hope everything goes good when I see you tomorrow. If I see you tomorrow, you know, we'll talk about this and that. But now I have to see you. So now when I pray, when you tell me something's wrong with you, something's wrong with me.
That's right.
And that's how I think about it.
Yeah,
I don't feel good. You don't feel good. I don't feel good.
Me either.
You don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to go nowhere. So now it's like it's almost like the devil is too P-word to try me, so he get to me by getting to you, and that's how I feel about it. Because the devil he rarely goes head on with me because I'm just gonna
and
he can
and he will sometimes,
but the strongest way is he get that one and this one and that one and her out there, any of these 4 people right there, I'm hurt.
Yeah. In the Bible too, the wife undergird the husband. The
Right.
wife
That's
stayed
right.
in prayer for
And
the
sanctify
husband
the husband.
and sanctify the husband.
right.
And there's also actually a verse in the Bible where the man sanctifies the wife as well. But so you sanctify each other. But what I'm saying is, there that goes back to knowing your spiritual role in the relationship. And then I wanted to say something to give Morgan an opportunity, because I didn't want to just solely like glance over what she's saying, because our relationships are different than hers,
Right.
and she do have an ex-boyfriends. So to address when do you realize there's too many bumps in the road, or when do you realize that you don't go forward in that relationship? What was the turning points for your relationships to realize that this is not it?
You're asking?
Yeah.
What were the turning points? I think
not necessarily specifically, but just in your mind, what made you feel like that this is no longer this ain't it?
I just think that, like Mackenzie said, we wasn't on the same wavelengths. It just, you was here and I was here, or I was here and you was here. It was never like on the same wavelength of what we expected out of the relationship.
Did he have a vision?
Right.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to latch on and stay connected, because sometimes you'll be more connected, not all the time, but sometimes you'll be more connected to your joint vision than the person.
Absolutely.
And you'll always have ups and downs and ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys in a relationship.
Absolutely.
But if the vision is still forefront of you two, you can latch on to other things too.
Absolutely.
You latch on to the vision.
I feel like a lot of times too, to what y'all said, and I think this goes back to like knowing roles. A lot of times people have lack of respect in their relationship.
Yeah.
And if you don't respect your partner, there cannot be a relationship.
Absolutely.
If you don't have
both
respect
ways
for a person. Because if I got to keep telling you the same thing and this hurts my feelings and I don't like this, and hey, can we talk about this? And I keep saying it and I keep saying it, and now and so it's kind of like you're deliberately doing it. So you're disrespecting me.
Yeah.
I agree. I have a whole nother question.
Go ahead.
We only have really like 10 minutes.
I was going to because
10 minutes to discuss.
Milking this one.
But let's just try. We'll start again next week, because I think this is going to take a while. Not that any one of us up here has ever cheated, but we've talked to people who have cheated. We have friends or relatives or independent. Mm-hmm. Why do people cheat in a relationship?
Okay. So I don't know. I've never cheated. So based off what I've seen and what I've heard, people cheat because there's something that they feel like is lacking in their relationship. Gotcha. But I feel like along with that, you cheating, not all the time, because people do talk to their partners and then they still decide to cheat. But I feel like a lot of times that has to do with a lack of communication, because you need to sit down with your partner and let somebody know what's lacking. And if they decide not to, pick up where they're lacking, or y'all can't get back on the same wavelength, then I feel like if you know that your partner is hurting in this aspect and you continue to let it happen, you don't respect them. Back to that. I just feel like
I feel that, I want to add on to it. I feel like a lot of times people don't set boundaries and they get a little bit too chummy, a little bit too friendly, or they have conversations, outside of the relationship that should be attended for the relationship. And now you're replacing your partner with this other person.
Oh boy.
And then now you're valuing more so what this person is saying. You're valuing more so what this person input is.
Preach, babe.
Or you're valuing how this person make you feel. And you found like this newness. Oh, this is fun. This is new. This is interesting. She made me feel this way, or he made me feel this way. And you're literally in your mind replacing your spouse and the role that your spouse should be in. We want to talk about roles when it comes to inside the relationship. But there's also roles outside the relationship. And when I'm not with you, I still should be with you.
Absolutely. Now that was a good one. That was a good one, because as a person, like I can say that one, because cheating, I think a lot of people just think of cheating as, oh, somebody slept with somebody else or you kissed somebody else. Cheating is having conversations that your partner don't know about, going to meet up with people that your partner don't know about, and all this type of stuff.
It's all a form.
It's all a form.
And it leads to the final act. It leads to the final act.
Different isn't cheating. So I definitely agree with that, because in one of my situations, if you texted somebody to wake up, it's 3 a.m., you got to go to work. To me, that's cheating.
Yeah.
You're cheating. What you texting a girl for at 3 a.m.? Talking about wake up.
I'm gonna let them guys get to theirs, but
Yeah.
we have 2 comments from some of the people here. Ashley said insecure. Cass says they cheat because they refuse to do the work to keep their relationship. 9 times out of 10, the one they cheating with is not requiring them to do anything. Absolutely.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
Cass.
Absolutely, Cass.
You said a mouthful.
Cass, let me hit you.
You said a mouth.
So you got something? Because I'm ready if you don't have something.
I just feel like you never loved him in the first place.
Absolutely. That's just simple. Simple.
Okay.
I feel like that's
That's,
simple.
I mean,
That's it.
That's all I'm gonna say about it. I mean,
And I think I could feel that, but I can believe there's a difference between you can love someone and not have discipline.
yeah.
You know, but and I'm gonna go a slightly different way. I'm gonna try to always do that just for good conversation. I believe that you can look at cheating as cowardly. Because you know what the thing is, if you don't want them no more, then let them know, then cheat. Right? That's what. If you don't love me no more, if you don't want me no more, then then
it is cowardly.
Let me go. Tell me up front we have an issue.
Yeah.
Then go cheat. That's kind of what they say. But I really feel like, honestly, it's when we are not in our traditional natural roles. People cheat because men desire a woman to be in her traditional role, and women desire a man that's supposed to be in his traditional role. If he is providing, protecting, and valuing her opinion, her life and her situations, is less likely she'll cheat. If a man has a woman that will submit to him, take care of him, and nurture him, he won't cheat. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, after talking to a lot of guys, this is a typical question for guys. Like, they talk about this. Like, man, what you do it for? Guys cheat because they want a woman to submit. And think about this. I'm just going to just give you some food for thought.
So you're just screwing her and she's submitting.
The woman, the side chick only submits. She doesn't have to do what the main chick has to deal with. She doesn't have to deal with anything, all the stuff that she has to do. All she has to do is give you what you want, which is submission. When a man conquers a woman and he has sex with her, that's the ultimate form of submission. I'm going to lay down and give you all of me, and you can do whatever you want to do to me. You got it. It is no more ultimate form of submission than giving you yourself, right? So when guys submit, this second woman never has to do what the main woman has to do.
You never see who the real woman is.
She don't got to put up with his bull either.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. All she has to do is give you what you need or want. You never get to see all of her because she never has to see all of you.
That's the 20, the 80-20 rule.
The 80-20. So she'll give you what you need. And when you with her, she'll be in her position. If submission. If I was with you, I'll do this all the time. And he telling you, if I was your man, I'd do this all the time. How can he not do this? They're giving you what you don't have. And what men are looking for is submission, and what women are looking for is protection and security and everything like that, and valuing her as her.
And money.
The grass is green.
And money.
But you don't have to do the other stuff.
My baby, here you go.
You don't have to do none of the other stuff that the main person has to do. You show them the best of yourself. You don't never have to be with him with a bonnet on your head. You never have to be with him with the stuff. But that when you marry, you're gonna have to do all that. So what y'all think about that?
Morgan calling a bull.
I mean, no, that's true.
I feel like what Miss Chelsea said.
I'll give you that.
Hold on, I feel like what Miss Chelsea said. You got into a relationship before you were mentally and emotionally ready. That's what I feel like on both sides. Because like you saying, that woman is doing that for you, and she ain't doing it in her relationship. And what you doing for her, you ain't doing it in your relationship. Right. So both of y'all lacking in your own relationship, sitting there in some type of weird, messed up delusion. And I'll do this if I was your girl, but you not doing it with your man. And I'll do this if I was your man, but you not doing it with your girl. But y'all in fairy tale land, la la land, escape from reality. And then you got to go back to your real life. You're a piece of trash.
I mean,
Not trash.
it is a question of your integrity.
But
It is.
But I agree. But what I'm saying is, but what Marlon is trying to explain from a man perspective, that's their answer into why they're doing it.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
not
understand.
giving an
He's not saying
excuse
how
to
bad
it.
it is.
Oh, I know.
He's just saying that that's the answer that, like, when the men sit around and talk about it. But and that is definitely a different route.
So speak for the woman.
But I've already done it. I just feel like your dad said discipline, and because you're not gonna just be attracted to one person. Other people you may find attractive, but just because you found another person attractive, that don't mean that you started to entertain that person to get in close to you. Because if there's an attraction there, then there's a weakness there. So my thing is,
Temptation.
so there's a temptation there, because there's something that's drawn you or something that's pleasing to the eye
But like
that
he
make
said-
you look, that make you like
like
this.
he said, though,
Yeah, right. I agree.
He going back to the men want the
Submissive.
submission,
I understand
and
that.
the women want the vision. So
Exactly.
again, if you don't have the vision, that's why I feel like more women get with married men or married men. I
And then-
feel
Right.
like they get with married men, the men that have the woman, the one with the career,
That's right.
the one with the job, the one
Right.
with the fortune, the one with the 401k, all that, because she
And she trash
Because-
too.
But back out to
because
the
She's trash
at the
too.
real interest of this, every man wants to be with the woman that makes him feel like a king.
correct.
So
And vice versa.
if you're a woman, every time you tell her, I mean, what the man?
And vice versa.
You don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this, you do this, and then the side woman never has to deal with the things that the main has to deal with. So she can just say, okay, you can put me in whatever position you want. You can have me whatever you want. I'll do this whenever you want.
Okay,
I'll do this
Delilah.
whenever you want. And I'm just saying,
Okay.
no.
And she
Hold on,
trash
hold on.
too.
We're not saying-
We didn't say we
be
ain't right.
yeah,
We
don't be.
didn't say it ain't
I'm just
real.
saying, don't be dismissive.
So
I'm
we know
just
she's-
telling
I'm not
you.
being dismissive because he
I'm just
started
saying-
yeah.
talking
I'm just
over
saying,
me.
we know
Okay,
it's
okay,
trash.
but I
We know
had
it's
the floor,
trash.
so I was the
Okay.
one talking to the
Go
camera.
ahead.
So
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, so that second woman just does what he needs, which is submission, without the extra, because she didn't have the extra stuff to deal with. Likewise with the men, he don't deal with what that man deal with, his struggles of how he trying to take care of you, whatever. He just trying to give you something extra, and everything you tell him, he say, "Oh man, you have a good vision." He's doing all the other stuff. Like, I believe you. That's what he should. That is smart. You are so smart. You're so great. And and every man gonna dial into what you're missing.
Correct. So then both of those scenarios, both of them are getting manipulated. So the fact of the matter is, because you only seeing what they want you to see in order to get what they want from you. So
But I
going back to what you were saying, it's a cowardly action, period.
But I wouldn't-
Because instead
It's
of
an
you sitting
escape from reality.
because instead of you sitting here facing the issues or facing the problems that you have within your relationship and trying to work on that and secure that and build that, you decide to step outside the relationship to bring another factor into what y'all now got to deal with.
But I
From
wouldn't
both
say it's
sides.
manipulation though.
From
Yeah,
both
man.
sides.
Yes, it is. If you
I
saying
feel
that
like
you
it's
ain't
a-
going to
it's a
see but the
It
20,
could be.
it is
I mean,
manipulation.
yeah, but I
It
feel
absolutely
like most of
Unless
the
they
time,
really believe, let
most
they
of
really
the
feel like
time,
that.
most of the time, the side piece know they the side piece. It's just a choice.
They can feel their role.
Yeah, they just do.
If they
know
want
what
to
they're
remain the side piece, and then when they don't want to no longer be the side piece and they want to be the main chick, then they are now in your ear
But this
trying to
generation-
strategize
I feel like
how to get
all
you out of
it
that
is
relationship.
Selfishness. All of it is selfishness.
Correct.
A woman cheating
Absolutely.
is selfish, and a man
Absolutely.
cheating is selfish. You don't want to
Absolutely.
deal
Right.
with your problems, or you
Absolutely.
don't want to have the hard conversation
And
to
again,
let it go. Let it
let it
go,
go.
or deal with your problems. Either way, if you cheat on somebody, you're a selfish piece of trash, woman or
But,
man.
and I just want to say that it goes back to the natural
Right.
roles that God set.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a man
Right.
is always going to seek a submissive, helpful woman.
Right.
A woman is also always gonna
We got
seek a man that has provision, protection, and values her. And whenever you stop having that
He's
or giving that, a man his nature is gonna seek it. Her nature is going to seek it.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Read.
Oh, Miss
First,
Chelsea said.
Mariel.
Mariel said most women want to be more than the side piece. Absolutely. And she said, I feel like a good amount of cheating is also due to basing your relationship off of feelings. This new side person is making you feel some type of way that your significant other is not. Then Miss Chelsea says the problem with that is that there have been women who treated their men like kings, cook, clean, sex, work, and affirm the whole 9 yards, then still get cheated on. It's a lack of discipline.
You did. I said that
You
earlier.
said, yeah,
You
that's
did.
But
So she's agreeing.
again, it is a lack of discipline, but the desire of his nature and her nature wants what it wants. It wants, again, and the man gonna want the submission and that,
But
and the
she's
woman is gonna
saying
want
in
that.
this scenario,
But,
she's saying
but,
that's what it
but if
all
you
of that.
feed into that, that is a lack of discipline, 100%.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
100%.
She's
So I
saying,
agree. I'm
yeah.
100%
I was
in
about to say,
agreeing
she's
with what
saying
she
the
said.
woman is doing what they're supposed to do. They are playing their role.
See, that's
and he's
where we
still
gotta
cheating.
go boo to.
But
There are
we
a
got
lot
to be
that-
boo because
I
there
mean,
are some
hold
situations
on.
that are like that. That
And
ain't no boo.
there are situations,
And
but
we didn't say boo to it. We listened it out.
But again, we always look at the women as the victim and the man as
Yes.
the assailant. We never look at it the
We're
other way.
women, so
Let me
we
just-
gonna
let-
look at it that way.
Yeah,
and
but-
y'all
but
gonna
we
look at it
don't.
a different
We
way.
don't look
Y'all
at
it.
looking at it as a
Listen,
man cheats because.
no, we don't.
Da-da-da-da.
I talk about men and women, but first of all, let me say that.
Woo!
Every woman, no woman is ever accountable for what she does. The man always
That's
does
not
it.
true.
Hold on,
That's
hold
not
on,
true.
hold on,
That's
hold on,
not
hold on.
That's
Let
not
me
true.
elaborate. And the world sees it that way. The
That's
courtroom
not
sees. Let me just say it.
The
before we
courtroom
start
see that way.
ignoring it.
We doing.
Everyone, if you walk up into a domestic violence situation, the woman is crying. It doesn't matter what happened. The woman is, oh, what happened? Sir, you got to do this. You got to go. Because we're going to take the crying woman over the man any day.
Yeah.
The courtroom will do the same. Because
What they got to do with-
it's harder for us to see women as as anything other than victims. We see the men because men are supposed to be rocks and hard. They can't be victims because they're the leader. So the
That's
men
why
is
a lot of
always
us
the
messed up.
assailant. It's just how we see it.
Right.
And whenever they say grandma and grandma broke up, we're gonna say what he do.
Okay, but address her scenario.
Let me continue because we always gonna say what did he do, and in her example, even if she cooks, cleans, does everything,
That's her truth.
he may still he'll still cheat, right? So it's we have the woman being the I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and he still cheated. But it's always like that.
But that can be a real life scenario.
I'm
You
sure
speaking to you speaking
hold
to
on.
that she's saying this and that may
Because
not
I'm
be
talking,
the
I'm
case.
talking past a one-off. I'm talking past. There are a lot of
Yeah,
situations. There are a lot of situations where the guy just did some crazy stuff. But if you never
and vice
knew,
versa.
but if you never knew, you're always gonna figure he did something wrong. And that's just how we look at relationships.
Question.
Guys never get looked at as victims
Absolutely.
because we're guys.
You want to know something though?
Right, I just said it to
a lot-
Chelsea, vice versa.
A lot of guys are victims, but we'll never see it. We'll always look at the woman as the victim.
And she
also
said
said vice versa.
Now she said
Men-
vice
Right.
versa, but
Now but let me say, yes,
mean,
that
you
happens
said your
with women.
own
Let me
point.
say, this happens with women because women get on there and they tell their side of the story. A lot of times men don't get online and they don't tell their side of the
False.
story. I said a lot of times
Okay.
you see more women doing that than men. But if y'all go to y'all homeboys and explain the situation, y'all homeboys gonna agree with y'all.
No,
and
we
they
don't.
gonna
No,
lie for
that's a
y'all.
lie.
We always
Yes,
look
they
at women.
will.
That's a lie.
Hold.
We always
they
look
will.
at women.
Everybody in time
We
out.
always look at women as
Everybody
needed
in
to
time
be
out.
protected.
That's
We
a
look
lie.
at
Y'all
women.
homeboys
Hold on,
go
Morgan.
for y'all.
Morgan, you said your piece. We always look at women as needed to be protected because our job is to protect them, and we look at men that don't need it. So we'll never give them the benefit of the doubt.
Right. You can post what you post.
Mike
and say your
said,
We gotta get off
disagree,
ours.
don't argue.
Yeah, I
Disagree.
disagree.
We're gonna do
Because
we
she
family.
But guess what? You can say
But you're right.
you can say the same thing. You can tell your girls, oh, he did this and this. We go tell our boys, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna clown us. That's what
No.
you don't know. That's what you don't
Some
know.
of y'all,
No.
y'all with
We can-
good friends.
no, we can post
Nigga,
it.
I done
We
dated
can post
niggas
it.
that done
We can
stuff like-
post it.
Bro,
We can
oh
post
my
it.
goodness, I've been in this situation where
Boy,
a
yeah,
man
we can
done
very
did
good
something,
topic,
and
y'all.
his
We can post it. We can-
homeboys done vouch for him, know that nigga did dirty,
Okay.
and
Like
still
women
vouch
do.
for
Like
him.
women.
And I'm saying, so
I'm just saying.
men do that too. It's always the
I'm
women
just saying.
is the victim, and everybody gonna take the woman's side. But a lot of of time y'all homeboys take up for
But
y'all.
look,
Stop.
look,
A lot of
Takes a
times,
man and take it
She
for a
take,
man.
look, she
We
take
know
the
we always
homeboys
get
out.
looked at as
out.
and a lot of
Take the
times,
homeboys out though.
and
Then
a
what do
lot
we
of
got?
times they lie for y'all.
All right, but
Not to say our
listen,
girls don't lie for
listen.
us. I'm not saying
All
that.
right.
I'm speaking from a woman
She's
perspective.
speaking
But
one.
I'm saying,
Look, listen.
Oh, this
take
is
y'all
good.
speaking from a man
No,
perspective.
listen,
Like I said,
listen.
women gonna do that
We've been
too.
talking for a while. Let them
Go
talk.
ahead. Go ahead.
Take the homeboys out, then what? Take the 6
Y'all
homeboys
don't-
out. No, listen. Take the homeboys out, then what? The whole world is on your side.
Because
Always.
women get
Listen.
on there and they tell
And guess
their
what?
side. Men don't do that.
That's
typically.
more. You know how naive we tell our
We
side.
built-
Y'all gonna say get over it. Everyone, the world's gonna like get over it.
Your
homeboy
Men
gonna
can't
tell you,
cry.
man, come
Men
here,
can't
bro.
cry.
Get you
Men
another
can't wear pink. Men can't get molested. Men can't get raped. Yes, we
Oh,
can.
boy.
No one hears that. We're not supposed to because we're men. That's the lie.
You're supposed to be
And
strong
that's
enough.
why men
Oh,
are
my
a lot of
God.
men the way I am
I'm
now.
not saying that's not true. I'm just saying
No.
a lot of times they take the women's side because more often the woman is speaking her
Because
side.
women are men are stronger.
Then
But
side.
what? Okay, I'm calling time out for everybody. Everybody in time out. Everybody is in time out. Because what Morgan is trying to say is, and Marlon, you have said this very same thing. Now men are coming out and saying more of how they feel and more how what they go through in relationships. Because a lot of times men lost their voice as far as speaking that out in the public. Morgan is simply saying that women don't have a problem with venting. Women don't have a problem with sharing. Women don't have a problem with protecting their mental health through conversation. And that is what she's saying. Whereas they are saying, yeah, women do that more, and that as far as why the women think one thing and why the men think another thing. But what the guys are saying is, even with all of that, the courts, the law, the world is going to view the women as the victim, the weaker vessel, and therefore they are more believable in whatever it is that they're saying.
And I'm saying it doesn't matter what we say. Yes, because of the
Right.
new age of social media, there are men now speaking out about their voice. There are men now saying things, but we say things in court, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
Nothing ever matters because we are supposed to be
We
strong.
post stuff
Said
and
that.
it doesn't
Y'all said
matter.
that. I said
Yeah,
Like,
right.
that's what we're
So
saying.
I'm just saying that
Y'all have the ears.
when y'all cry, it's all over.
yes,
When
y'all
women
have the
cry,
world on your
it's
side.
over because we're wrong.
Then y'all should start crying.
No,
I'm just-
we're
that's a
not
joke.
built
That's a
like
joke.
that.
That's
But
a
again,
joke.
but if we start crying, then what?
That's a
Y'all
joke.
gonna say we gay.
I'm
We're
gonna say this:
nasty.
women
It's a lose-lose
have
for us.
men just have to own it. If
It's
we gotta
lose-lose
pay
for us.
half of what we have, half the house, you get all this, so we have to own it. Women have a problem with accountability. They never see themselves as wrong. They see themselves as
What?
victims. The world sees them as victims, and they never have to own a lot of things when it comes to relationships.
going.
Men also have a
But
problem
no,
with
because
accountability.
we're
don't
going to get
listen,
forced to
listen,
own it.
listen.
Hold on. We're going to get forced to
Well,
own
we
it.
talking, that's the legal
And
system.
y'all still
No,
we're
we're not
talking
just
about,
talking about
And y'all
legally.
still
okay, so
don't.
then
not just-
accountability when a man
because-
cheats. So when a man cheats, what is the accountability
no,
there?
Who are they cheating with?
Not me. We
No,
think
hold on,
both
hold
people.
on.
So
No,
they
hold
can
on,
do
hold on,
it.
hold on.
We're speaking in general.
Hold on.
Look at the
Hold on.
masses. We're speaking in general.
Let's
We're
talk
speaking
about
in
this.
general.
When men cheat, they only cheat with single women. That's BS. We know that married women cheat. Hold on.
But I don't care who they
But-
cheat with. I'm talking
wait,
about the
wait,
relationship.
but-
The what
but-
accountability is
Go
supposed to be.
ahead.
But-
I ain't
but-
talking
Go
about
ahead.
that
Wait.
side chick.
Let him talk.
Let me
Let him
say
talk.
this.
Talk.
We gotta own it. At the end of the day, we always gotta own it.
Women
And
do
a
too.
woman does too. If she outside her
Women
marriage.
don't.
No,
If
The
a woman
victim-
cheats, she
the
has to
victim-
own it.
The victim
No,
never
y'all
has to own it.
don't.
So if a woman cheats, she
please.
don't have to own
When a
it.
woman cheats,
It's
what?
justified.
Hold on. There you go, son.
It's
When a woman
justified.
cheats, hold on. When a woman cheats, when a woman cheats, what did he? The first question is, what did he do?
Yeah, oh, he ain't doing this. Oh, he's treating you like,
What
oh, you
did he
deserve
do?
better. Or you need to go with somebody.
If she cheated,
It's
he probably
justified.
cheated first. There's always an excuse.
What?
There's always an excuse.
That
for
must
the
be
woman
the
is
guy
the victim.
Wait,
circle.
look
That
at
must be
all
the
these
guy circle
please, wait,
conversation.
hold on.
That must be the
Hold
guy.
on.
We
Look at all
losing
these
people by
spots.
yelling.
Wait,
We losing people by
wait.
yelling.
My
don't
people
have
went
it.
up.
Real, though.
My people went up. a lot of times in these new age podcasts, men get on there and women cheat, men cheat because the woman ain't doing this and the woman ain't doing this. And even now with people I talk to, women don't do this. Women don't do this. That's why I want this type of women. Women don't do this. That's why I cheated on her, because she didn't do this. Let me say something. When a man cheats,
It's all depending on who
when a
you
man
talking
cheats, when a man cheats, he's held accountable. Yes. And my friends gonna hold him accountable. Yes, and I don't care about who you cheated with, because I'm not in a relationship with that hoe. I'm in a relationship with you. And
So she don't have to be accountable. She got to be accountable to her husband.
to her
She got to be
boyfriend.
accountable
I don't
to me.
care about her. I don't care about
She
her.
have to be.
Like, I might be mad at her,
If two
but
married people cheats,
my problem.
both of those married people are not taking
My
accountability.
problem.
So,
Well, it's
so
one-
it ain't the fact that
It's
who they
114.
cheating with, who they cheating with.
It's 9:45.
We're an hour and 14 minutes in. This is a topic, guys.
Che,
Because
right?
Even I see what Che wrote, but even our friends are different. If we messed up, get what your boy said, bro. You messed up.
Yeah, and that's
No,
what y'all
I
don't
don't
see.
want-
But
hold
you
on.
telling us
Your
what y'all see.
friend.
I'm just saying we are guys.
We know what
Your
we
friend.
And we know
Your
what
friend.
we know what
Your
our friends
friend.
tell us, and we know what
Hold
our
on.
friends
Your
tell us.
friends.
We don't
Not
know each other,
everybody.
man. We'll tell you, bro. You
That's
messed up.
not
But you know what?
everybody's friends. That's Marlon's
Listen,
friends
no,
and
no, but
Mackenzie's
you know
friends.
what?
You don't know. You speaking on
you
you
want to know our guys.
You finna close it out.
I'm just
You thought
saying.
you close it out.
Women say, well, he wasn't doing it, girl. Y'all stick to each
How
other.
you gonna tell us what we say?
Because I hear women. I hear them.
And we hear
women. You don't hear.
Guys, don't
And
do
we
that.
hear
say, bro.
men.
Like
Y'all can say y'all hear
You're
women,
bad
but
on
we
the
can't
men,
hear
so
men.
you-
Right.
Wait. Y'all can
Right.
say we hear women. We
Or-
know
or
what
when
women
a
say. We hear men.
Go to
so
a-
we know what
go
men
to 100
say.
random men
I
right
done
now.
seen
Go to
what
100
men.
Go to
I
100
done
random
seen
Or
it
when a
happen.
man.
Go to 100 random men right now. Go to
Or when a
100.
man speak and tell you what they know, listen. Okay, when a woman speak and tell you what they know, listen.
You're supposed to listen to your
Go
man.
to
He the head of the
100
relationship.
random men right now and ask the same question and see what they say. Random men that you don't know.
We own it,
Please.
and women never
Y'all
take
don't
really
have to
accountability
own it.
for
That's
it.
not
That's
true.
bull
That's-
crap.
Wait,
On
wait, can I say
a
one last
majority
thing?
list.
Can I
There
say
are some
one
women
last
that
thing?
take accountability.
Can I
That's
say
bull
one
There's
last
some
thing?
guys that
We're
take
not
accountability.
talking
I'm
about
talking
these
about.
two. They're not
I'm
saying
talking
that.
about
We're not
on a
talking about these
widespread
two women.
basis.
They think
Women
we're
will
talking about
justify.
everything's
Men
about
will
them.
just have to eat it.
Like,
Can I
that's the
say
truth.
one last thing? But let me tell you something.
Goodness.
With women holding accountability and men holding accountability, it is more likely that a woman take a man back after he cheated than a man take
That's a
a
whole
woman back.
nother
Like,
topic,
that's
baby.
That's a whole
accountability
That's a
too.
whole nother topic.
Y'all will up and leave, and then y'all be like, "Oh, women are always the victim." Half of the time, they take them back. Y'all don't. Y'all the victim, and y'all done for life. Y'all done. Y'all done. Cross out. You're done. A woman
another
will
topic.
forgive you
And
and
I
take
have
you
some- I
back.
have some feedback on
absolutely
that
right.
topic.
So Shay
right.
said, just because you own it doesn't make it right.
Absolutely.
And then and Mike Brown said, "Great debate." Yeah, this is definitely a debate. And
Chelsea,
notice
so Chelsea said.
what
What?
Chelsea say.
Chelsea said, "How many Papa was the Rolling Stones of there versus Mama out there in the streets?" It's just that we own
I see a lot of them.
who we cheating with. See, that's the biggest thing.
But
When-
it ain't the fact.
No,
but see,
no.
I think the fact
Because
that
women
you
are
can say-
victims and Papa is a Rolling Stone.
Women
But
are
wait,
Poor
victims.
mama.
Women
But
are
wait,
victims,
mama.
but they're also hoes.
But wait a
and
minute.
sluts and
But wait a
bees.
minute.
mama.
But
But
we're
wait a
always
minute.
the victim.
But the fact of the matter is,
And we're in jail
you try
20
to
plus
say
years.
who they cheating
Our
with
life is
as
on.
if the person they cheating with have accountability with us. They don't have accountability
No,
with
but
me.
nobody does.
Whoa. They don't have
Obvious.
accountability with us. So I ain't stunned about their accountability.
So
So
don't
who
care.
they cheating with ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm saying
I'm talking
that
about the
they're
accountability.
cheating with married women, so
I
the married
understand.
women on the equal playing field as the married man. I'm just saying, nobody has accountability to your relationship but you and that man.
But you just said,
No,
men
but
take accountability, but women don't.
I'm just
That's
saying,
not the
That's a
truth.
lie.
that is a lie.
No,
That is
and
a
that's a
lie.
lie.
Women are victims always.
Okay, and men
That's
don't
not
take
the
no
truth.
accountability. They always
That's not the
excuse
truth.
it. Just like
That's not
Adam
the
and
truth.
Eve,
True.
this
That's
was
not
this
the
woman
truth.
that you gave
No.
me. Y'all
No.
always don't take
No.
accountability.
No, because
And it was your bro that went through and got you to do the stuff.
So
Come
when
on,
the
now, don't do
man,
that.
so when the man,
We
But
have a whole podcast
we
on that.
we
I'm
sure
ready.
can
I'm
because
sorry.
it's-
I'm ready.
And
I'm
I am
sorry.
too. And
Women-
I am
Mama, women are always the victim until they get called a hoe, a slut, a b, a this, a that, a that. I can't be with her because she's this, and she get around. And then, but then when we say something about the men doing it, it's a problem.
The girls.
Right.
It's a problem.
Yeah, who got the hoe back, the slut back? Her girls, her homegirls.
I'm sorry, but it's a lot of men.
Your boys will throw you to the wolves, cuz.
Okay, so Ashley said, I do know a man telling their boys, telling them they're wrong and vice versa, but it's
And I know
very
women do
rare.
that.
She
I
said,
know
That's what we
women
always
do
do.
Y'all be around
I
sorry
know women
niggas.
that
Y'all
do
be
that.
around sorry
I
niggas.
know women that do
and
that.
Mike said, don't argue.
Listen,
And I know women that do that.
This ain't no true argument, Mike.
You're too close to the mic. All right. Men will laugh at you in your struggle, bruh. We don't care. Dudes will clown you. Hold on, I'm just telling you.
Okay, we heard that. What you said?
I ain't better. You said a sentence how you heard me. So
okay.
men will clown you, bro, and just tell you messed up.
Trash.
You trash.
And women will listen to you and let you crown their shoulder and then go and trying to be the
Until you
next moment.
understand.
And try to be the next moment and sets up your man.
Hey, guys.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
You
hey,
can't
it is
tell
what it
me-
is.
you
You
can't-
can't tell me what a woman will and won't do,
You can't-
and then want me to listen to
No,
everything you
I'm
say.
saying.
What
Back
men
to the
will
role.
and won't do.
say-
Back to the role.
You
No,
can't
that
say-
ain't a role issue. That's
No.
You
a
can't
respect
say
thing.
Back to
that
the
the
role.
woman is always the victim if you cry and leave the first time
That's
it
a
ever
general-
happened.
that's a general
But she done
statement.
took you
Yes,
back
that's a
three,
general-
That's a
four
general statement.
times.
See, y'all
It's
taking
a
stuff too
general
serious.
Y'all
statement.
saying
It's a general statement.
statements as
Again.
well.
I said
Again.
men. I said men trash.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Again, hold on. I'm
What
gonna
I
ask
say?
you
Everything
a
I said
Y'all ain't
question.
saying no general statement.
Wait, your dad
I'm
want to
asking
ask
a
this
question.
question. Your dad want to
If
ask
you
this
walked into a situation with a crying woman, the dude he ain't crying, come on, men ain't gonna cry. What you gonna think?
What's
Hold on, hold
wrong?
on. You'll think
That's
obviously
not-
he did something to
No.
her.
No,
You can't tell me what to
go
think.
ask
You
and
can't
then
tell me
tell
what I
her.
think.
Y'all see
Yeah,
how
yeah,
this
yeah.
works.
All right. I
What's
got you.
Oh my
You
God.
ask what's
What's
wrong, but
wrong?
who you gonna try to protect?
The woman.
If the nigga was crying, I'd walk up to him.
We
But
ain't
you
never
said if a woman
But
was
we ain't
crying.
never said that.
No.
Again, that we would.
I'm out.
No,
My
they
point exactly.
took
I'm
in the
good.
scale.
I have nothing else to say.
You're
But we
tilting
do.
the scale.
But we do. But we
You're
do.
rigging
You
this.
may say it, but
You're
my
rigging
point
this.
exactly.
You're rigging this. You're rigging this.
He
Because if the
is.
man was crying, we walk
Let's
up
show
to
it
a
sounds you don't see
man.
that.
But it can happen.
But you
It can
can't say
happen.
if
Well,
the
no,
woman is
not the
crying.
majority.
But
I'm
that's
talking
not the
majority.
same.
It's
If
over.
the man
It's
is
over.
also
It's
in
over.
the same level
It's
of
over.
distress
They get
as the
too
woman,
emotional.
that's why you
Look,
gonna ask
look,
the
they
woman.
get too
She's
emotional.
crying. If a nigga was
They get too
crying, then
emotional.
we go up to ask them what's
Dudes
wrong.
don't cry like that.
And
They're a
that's not our
minority.
fault.
Okay, we done.
They're too
Minority.
That's
emotional.
not our fault.
That's-
You can't blame us because y'all don't cry.
We ain't trying to blame you. We trying to say this is it is
You,
what
but
it
that's
is.
you
not
did.
apples
You
and
did blame. You
apples.
said
This
women
is
don't
not
take
blame. I'm saying
accountability.
how
You said women
people
can't take
view
accountability.
things.
But that's not
They
apples
view
and
you.
apples.
Right, wrong, or
Of
indifferent.
course you're not gonna walk up to the nigga because
Listen.
he's not
Listen,
crying.
Morgan, chill.
Calm down. Calm down.
We not
You
saying
calm all the way
we're
down.
saying right, wrong, or
Bruh.
indifferent. We're gonna look like the bad guy, and you're gonna look like the victim. I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong.
That's
But
reality.
the
We're talking
actual
reality.
situation is, the reality is,
We're not talking about you.
they gonna look at us like, what you do to that girl? Because women are seen as victims and guys are seen as strong. We're too
Because
big
she
and
crying for her
powerful.
health.
We're too big and powerful and strong to ever be seen as victims.
And that's part of
And
the
so
problem
Chelsea
right there.
says, and this gonna be the last comment, and we go end this so everybody can get cool heads. Unfortunately, things cannot be generalized anymore. There is more than one scenario for every situation.
Things can be
Absolutely.
generalized.
And then,
Yes, they
and
can.
then,
There is
Coach
a
Jack
minority
thinks
and a
'cause
majority.
this is
I
the
ain't gonna
best.
work.
Look, Coach Jack said this is the best episode. Love y'all. Thanks, cuz.
My
Love
thing
you.
is,
What's in the
are
mic?
you
Not
accountable?
eating it. You eating
Are you
it.
accountable?
Yeah,
Eating the
I ain't
mic.
never cheated on somebody, but I sure got cheated
But
on.
do you know girls who cheated too?
Yes.
No.
and-
Don't say nothing about boys. Look,
No,
I'm
no,
answering the
I'm
question.
not-
talking
I'm
to.
not saying nothing
answering-
about guys.
I'm asking a question.
Yes,
though.
I know
Let me
girls
finish
who-
my question.
You said you know
No,
girls
I'm
who
saying,
cheated too.
I'm
Yes.
not done. I'm still talking. I want the same respect. I'm gonna give you the same
Go.
respect, right? Because I ain't cut you
We're
off the
gonna
whole
have to have
show.
this
Go.
conversation offline.
Are you accountable?
Yeah.
We're not talking about you. Simple.
So
Okay,
when we say
but
stuff, we're not
still-
talking about y'all.
but exactly.
And when have we
But-
ever said
But
that?
y'all getting
We
hyped
didn't
too.
say-
So
we
you're
didn't say
saying
y'all was.
No,
Yeah, we both got hype.
Out of all the situations, what did I
Everybody
say?
Except
was
McKenzie.
Out of all the situations,
Everybody
what did I
was
say? What did I say?
What?
I'm not. It's the truth, but you're not talking about me. If your class bad and your whole class acting up, and you doing your work and the whole class getting in trouble, guess what? The whole class
But
acting
we're
up, not you.
But the
I'm just
difference is
saying-
we're not
Look,
sitting here and saying all men do this.
That-
Y'all
Oh,
are
I'm not
sitting
saying
here and
all.
saying
That-
all
we
That's a
said
big
women are
word.
victims.
We said
That's a
men.
big word.
All,
All is a
but
big
you
word.
said all
No, we
women are
said said women.
Women
and
are-
no
who said
women
women
take
are victimized. We said
accountability.
women are victimized.
Hey, listen.
Period.
Let's
Women are
close it.
victimized.
Yeah, we gonna have to.
This
close
is a generalization.
We
When-
see what the world sees.
It's odds.
They said vice versa.
So hold on. When you go to Vegas, you bet there is a bigger chance that this happens than this happens.
Yeah.
There's always generalizations and majorities and minorities, right?
Yeah.
So when most people speak about men and women in relationships, they talk about the majority versus them. They're always one-offs and things that don't comply to the generalization of things.
Statistics.
Right?
Yeah.
But when we talk about statistics, we're talking about there's a bigger half of statistics, and there are crybaby men, but they're the majority. Hold on. But they're the minority.
Of what you've seen. But from what I have seen, they're not the
They're more crybaby men than women.
But I'm saying,
her
your
generation, probably
majority
her
and my
generation.
No, that's
It
still
is
false.
generation.
I'm in her
Okay, I got you.
generation. I know hell
I got
people.
you.
My majority of what I
Guys.
have seen is
Guys.
different
But,
than
but we're talking
yours.
about the world.
Got you.
That's like
I got
saying
you.
there's more white people than
We're
black
not
people.
basing
That's
it
like
on
saying there's
stats.
more white people than black people. It
All
is.
right.
It's a stat.
Right. So it's a
Okay.
fact.
Okay,
But-
y'all. So
okay.
thank y'all so much for joining
Guys,
us today. We're gonna go.
This might
Whatever.
have been the best. I intentionally
Pissed
made
me
these
off,
questions. They did not know what I was going to
It's
ask
sensitive.
tonight. They did not know what I was going to ask tonight. And intentionally, I brought forth a subject to find out how we see things, how men see things, how women see things, and they're distinctly different.
Absolutely.
And that's an issue with relationships because how we see things, not that men are right and women are wrong, or women are right and men are wrong. It doesn't matter. It's how we see things. That's an issue. But in every situation, there has to be a machine and there has to be followers.
Hmm?
No, in my job, if I disagree with my boss, it's going to be my boss's way. And if we go back to traditional values and where we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to think, it solves everything. But if we go into relationships as a social construct and take away our natural inclinations, then we have this.
Chaos.
This is what
Confusion.
we have.
The enemy loves it.
And that's why I feel like how God wrote it, he wrote it for a reason, because no matter what the newest social construct is in the world today, it's never going to take away your natural inclinations. And that's where we are. Men are going to want something and women are going to want something. They're going to see it different, but there has to be a leader in a vision to follow. And if we don't, we just have chaos.
Yep.
So this is a true, what we were trying to show. If we're allowed to just both speak our parts, we have chaos. But someone has to be the leader. Someone has to be okay, I got you out. We've heard both parts, but this is what we're going to do. Without that, if there's equal and equal, because men and women are both equal, but they're not the same.
Absolutely.
3 + 1 and 2 + 2 both equal 4. So they're both equal. But if you put them on the scale, you put 3 on one and 1 on the other, it's going to be lopsided. So they're not the same, even though they're equal. So we got to look at it like that and find out, like, where's the common ground? What are we supposed to do? Who we're supposed to listen to? Who's going to be the leader here? Who's going to break the tie? How are we going to move forward if we disagree? And that's just a subject for another podcast, but it is just the real of the real. We've gone more towards social construct than our natural inclination and how God intended. And there's a reason for our misfunctions and misfortunes now. So next episode, we'll discuss some of this more in depth. We'll have enough time because I didn't share the questions this time. That's why we had it like this. I think with more time to think about our answers and our questions and leave our emotions out, this might have been different. But until next time, guys, we love you. God bless. And all that type of stuff. I think this was great.
Y'all, we wasn't arguing for real. We finna go out there and have family time.
That's right.
Audio.
When we stop, I'll definitely do the audio. But right now, We went from arguing to loving each other, trying to figure out what we're gonna eat when we leave here.
Yeah,
So,
we not.
It's all love here in the Rice family. None of this will carry over to tonight and to tomorrow. We love y'all and have a beautiful night.
And you should have seen